Good afternoon, dear students. Good afternoon. Am I audible? Hope I'm audible. I'll start my class. Today, we are going to discuss about citizen control and Rti Act. And also we are going to discuss union-state administrative relationships. May know someone can tell me am I audible or not? Those who are in the meeting. Yes, Asra, ma'am, can you tell me, am I audible? Either Leela, whoever it is, like if I'm audible, please tell me. If not, again, I have to see this thing. Can you tell me, am I audible? Yes, Leela?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. That's what, because I have to teach now. If you don't understand again, it's a problem. Okay, now you can unmute, Leela. Thank you. So today we are going to, because we have the Ashwant, today he's not there in order to help us. But I've been showing my PPT. I don't know whether it is visible to you or not, but still I'm going to teach you. You will understand even if it is not there.
It is visible, ma'am.
Visible. Thank you, Leela. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah. So last class, we have discussed about how legislature and various government organizations, how they are controlling their administration. We have discussed through various procedures, like I told you, adjournment motion and all these things, parliamentary sessions. Through that, our administrators, how they are controlled, I explained. Now we are going to discuss about how citizens are controlling the administration. Okay, so let me share with you my first one. Yes, you all know that we are in democracy, especially we Indians, the largest democracy in the world. Okay, and the role of citizens, democracy means rule by the people. Okay, power of the people. So people are very, very important. The citizens are very, very important. Their involvement, their participation is very crucial, not just at the time of elections, just giving a vote and absconding and never worry about how our administrators are ruling us, how the governance is going on. These things we are not worried. But that is so important. Our vigilance, people's vigilance is very, very vital for the success of democracy. Therefore, today I'm going to speak to you about how democracy, how citizens, through what kind of measures or institutions we are able to control the administrators. Because as you all know that the public administrators, here I have given you the second point. If you see, you will understand. They are performing a number of functions, such as regulatory functions, that is law and order, maintenance of law and order. Besides that, they also perform various responsibilities like providing us education, health facilities, employment facilities, transportation. Okay, a number of facilities they are providing. So while we are taking these facilities as a client, as a citizen, we will be interacting with the administrators. But many times we are not at all happy with the attitude or the response or the behavior of our administrators. And that too in this 21st century, where people are very much aware and even administrators are very much aware of people's rights and all, but still they are not behaving what they're expecting from the citizens. So general perception of all the people, especially in our country, is administrators are unhelpful. Means they are not helpful to us when we go to them with some queries or with some questions or some doubts. Simply their attitude, no, they don't explain us properly. They don't help us also, and as if they are giving their own from pocket to their supplying all these things. So they feel like that, isn't it? So they are very unhelpful, and they are like let's say favoritism. They also show favoritism. For some people, they like a help, and out of box also they will help. But for people who are really eligible and all, for them sometimes maybe because of their outward appearance and all, by looking at them and all, very rashly they behave with the people. Okay, so therefore people are frustrated, people are dissatisfied and unhappy to interact with the administrators. Some of the administrators, let it be on the roads with the police, in the offices, in MRO offices, when we go there for various helps, we are not that happy. Okay, so that is why in democratic nations, various citizen grievance, or what say redressal, means to clarify people's problems, unhappiness with the administration, n number of institutions are working. So before I speak about our country, what are the mechanisms we are following in order to deal with the administrators, I just want to speak to you in other countries. First of all, in which countries, how these redressal mechanisms have started, I'm going to talk to you. So here I have given you, could you see again, Leela, you have to help me. Am I audible properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. So ombudsman, this is one of the office we could see in Scandinavian countries. Scandinavian countries means I'm going to tell you what all known as the Scandinavian, especially in Sweden. In the world, very first time in Sweden only, one institution was established in order to deal with the administrators. See, for example, I'm not happy with the administrator in revenue department. I can complain on him to one officer. His name in Sweden is known as ombudsman. Okay, so this is the first institution for the citizen redressal cell, or grievances, to sort out the grievances, was established in the world very first time. That was in the year 1809. In 1809, Sweden has started an institution called ombudsman. Okay, and after Sweden, rest of the countries in Scandinavian areas, that is in Europe, such as like Finland, Denmark, Norway, New Zealand, England, and of course we also have started implementing or started establishing these institutions, ombudsman institutions, but with a different name. In that country, they call it as an ombudsman. The person, what he looks after, see here, this officer will take the complaints against the administrators, against the department, government departments who are not taking care, or who are very careless towards the people. So if I am not happy, I can go and complain to the ombudsman in that country, if I am in that nation. Okay, so also in other countries also we have, for example, you take Britain. In Britain, the person whom we called ombudsman in Sweden, the grievance redressal mechanism officer, his name is known as Parliamentary Commissioner. We call him as Parliamentary Commissioner, and Parliamentary Commissioner office was established in Britain in the year 1967. From that time onwards, he is investigating complaints of the citizens against the government departments. and against the malpractices, against the maladministration or corruption that is taking place in the government institutions. Okay, then moving on to the socialist nations. For example, we have Russia, Poland, Romania, Hungary. These days, nowadays, which are in everywhere in the media, we are talking about Ukraine and Russia war and all. No, so those countries, they are all socialistic countries. In those countries also, they have grievance cell or grievance institution. We call it as a procurator. Okay, so kindly remember these three names: ombudsman in Sweden, grievance cell name, and in Britain we call it as a parliamentary commissioner, and in socialistic countries we call the office as procurator. Then let us see in India how we are calling, what are the names of the institutions. So in India, our government also appointed one committee by looking at other nations, because we also need for that matter, most of the Asian countries, we have this kind of problem. Our administrators treat the people, ordinary people, they don't treat properly. Okay, sorry, just 1 second. No? So therefore, in order to investigate corruption, corrupt, like what say, activities, or to prevent the corruption in the government departments, the central government of our country in 1962 appointed one committee under the chairmanship of K. Santanam. His name is K. Santanam. He was the chairman. Under his leadership or chairmanship, they suggested various mechanisms in order to investigate corruption in our country, okay, in the government departments. Among them, we have the list I have given here. Please look into that. Sorry. This is about CBI, Central Bureau of Investigation. This was established or set up in the year 1963 to prevent corruption. So this office will be headed by a director. Under him, there will be a number of officers to verify the corruption charges against any government department. And also, these people, all these investigation officers of Central Bureau of Investigation belongs to police department. The most senior most officials in the police department will be looking after this issue, or looking after these kind of corrupt activities in the office called CBI, because we all know very much about the CBI, which looks after in order to eradicate corruption. But generally, of course, there are criticisms. That is, CBI became a puppet in the hands of central government. Whomever central government doesn't like on them, they send the CBI in order to investigate, and by giving various reasons like that, they say. But for that sake, it was not established. Actually, it was established in the year 1963 with a very good concept, that is to eradicate corruption. Another important organization or institution we have in India is Central Vigilance Commission. CVC, we call it as Central Vigilance Commission, that was established in the year 1954. And the members in this committee, mostly they all belongs to the higher judicial members. They're all. They're appointed by the President of India for the term of 4 years. The members in Central Vigilance Commission will continue in their office for 4 years. Please remember that. Okay. Their main function or activity is to take up inquiries or investigations upon corruption, misconduct, and malpractices among the public servants. We have a number of public servants, that is central government, state government. Of course, these people look after central government only. Okay, central vigilance means, again, we have at the state level, state vigilances are there. So they look after the public servants, that is IAS, IPS officers, if they involve in any malpractices such as like corruption, misconduct and all, such kind of things they will take, they will investigate, and as per the law, they will be given punishment. So the main reason is to prevent malpractices in the administration. And one more important is Lokpal. Lokpal. So in India, this Lokpal bill, anything, if you want to establish one organization, it has to be approved by either by constitution has to given beforehand, or otherwise in between, if government wanted to establish means, it has to be passed by the parliament. Okay, so in the parliament for Lokpal, who wanted to the mechanism or the institution or an officer, it's a single person office. Okay, that's why I'm saying this office intention also the same thing, in order to verify the corruption in the central government, especially among the ministers. So here the President of India introduced this bill in the parliament. In 3 times they introduced. In 1968, one time this bill was introduced. 1977, the bill was introduced to create the Lokpal, establish Lokpal institution. And in the year 1985 also, this bill was introduced. But there is no surprise, this bill was not passed, this bill was not taken care, because it is related to ministers. People who has to pass the bill is the ministers. And you all know that how, like would say, corruption takes place in most of the departments. That's why maybe they are not interested. And recently also in 90s, 2005, like that, they also introduced, but till now it is not materialized, which is aimed to establish investigations against the ministers who involve in the corruption. Prime Minister, other ministers related to them, this institution was created. But unfortunately, it is not functioning. Whereas Ombudsman in Sweden, Parliamentary Commissioner in Britain, and Procurator in Russia and all, it's working. But in our country, our ministers didn't pass the bill. But we have one more institution that is known as Lokayukta. Lokpal is for the central government and Lokayukta is for the state government. So this Lokayukta bill is being passed, and that's how the state governments have started this institution. The very first state that have started Lokayukta in their state was Maharashtra. Maharashtra started in their state, and later it has been followed by so many other states like Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Bihar. Many more than 12 states are being using today this Lokayukta, which takes the complaints from the citizens against the people in the authority, against the ministers in the authority, or even the public servants in the state who are working in the state. Against them they take. So what I would like to tell you is that all these institutions, their main aim is to eradicate corruption in the administration, in the governance. Malpractices has to be removed. So for that, the CBI, CVC, these are all working. Lokayukta is also working in our country. Besides that, the citizens, next one I'll take. Yeah, another important thing which controls the corruption in the administration are known as this one, that is about what we say, citizen charter. What are known as citizen charters? So charters, to hear, you may think that what is this and all, but otherwise citizen charters are very, very simple. Day-to-day life, we are all been experiencing. See, for example, when you purchase a product, say for example, one medical, like a syrup you might have taken. On that syrup, you would see one label is put up, one leaflet is put up. On that, they will write this bottle consisting of what type of, like let's say, liquids. Everything it will be shown, no? So that is known as a citizen charter. Means it is a document, it is a paper that contains the service, efforts of the service provider. Service provider will be writing on that, saying like what all he is giving to us. In the same way, when you purchase some electronic goods and all, we will get manual. In that manual, they will give guarantee card and they'll say that these are the things you have to use. Like after up to 5 years, we'll give warranty, or if anything happened within 1 year, replacement of the product. Like that, they will give that kind of document. Manuals are known as citizen charters. From when does these things have started actually? See, in the beginning, we don't have these citizen charters. So only on the medicines and all they used to put up. But this has started even in the government offices also. When you go to some of the government offices, they will put up a list of services they will give and the charges. E-Seva Center, when you go there, they'll put up citizen charter like that, they'll put up, and you'll see what kind of bills you can pay there and how much surcharges they will collect from you and all will be given over there. So let me tell you who started these citizen charters, in which country they have started. The very first time Britain has started about the citizen charter. Later, we also have started in the year 1997. From 1997 onwards, in every government office, you can see this one. Citizen charters means it is a document put up or a notice board. In that notice boards, when you go there, you can see that what the government is going to provide you, what all the things you need to have. Okay, so it includes, what is the use of these citizen charters for us? It will help us to get quality services, transparency. Transparency means you need not to have government to vote to hide anything, or the departments do not hide anything. Everything will be transparent. Okay, if you are doing this work, this much of like what say fees you have to pay. Like that, it is given very openly. If it is not there, when you are paying to the clerk, sometimes in previous years before 1997, so they will be asking how much they want. There is no transparency in the fees is what you have to pay to buy some forms from the government and all. Okay, so it gives accountability. Citizen charters gives accountability to the administrator, and moreover, it helps the citizens to have transparent services. Okay, quality services, transparent services will be given to the people. So that is one of the mechanism we are following since some years, that is from 1997, which is followed first time by Britain in 1991. The same thing is followed in our country also, in the government sector companies, in government sector departments. Okay, so these are all the various mechanisms what we are following. Apart from that, the most important thing in our lesson in unit 12, we have about Rti Act. What is this Rti Act? Rti Act is one of the most important or a revolutionary act formulated and implementing by the government of India from 2005. According to this, every citizen has a right to get the information from the government, whatever you want, except 20 departments. In all other departments, if you need any kind of information, you can just apply and can get the information. That kind of facility was created in our country because the main aim of this Rti Act is don't want to keep the citizen under dark. Citizens must know everything what is happening in the administration, in the government. Okay. Actually, as we have discussed in the beginning, democracy means ruled by the people. You can't go and every day you won't see the ruling and all, no? So therefore, what we are government has done is let people take information whatever they want. Simply they cannot flow the information. That's why whomever want what type of information you want, you can apply and can get it. Okay, as I just now I told you, no, regarding this, even before this act, we have right to information is there. One bill is there, but that was not so effective. But from the year 2005, October 12th onwards, when the government, central government has, got the bill or approved this bill in the parliament and started implementing, from that time onwards, we could able to get the information. What kind of information you can take? You can check the government records. If you have any doubts, how come this, tender has been given to so and so company. Like that, if people have any doubt, they can go and ask for the information by applying in writing. So what a person, say for example, I need one information regarding the tenders in the railways. Okay, so I go to the railway department, and in every department, as per this bill, there will be one officer, public information officer. So from 2005 onwards, these are the orders of the central government that every government department need to have 2 officers in order to provide information to the people. Okay, one is a primary person, that's the most important person. Another one is that assistant to him. Okay, PIO we call it as, and APIO, assistant, information officer. And these people, when you want to information, you have to go to the office, or these days again e-governance also we are following. Online also you can fill the application and should pay 10 rupees. 10 rupees we have to pay, based on simply that is a nominal amount. Okay, because government is ready to give information for us regarding anything you want to verify about the transactions of the government. See, as just now I said, no, tenders, when they call for the tenders and have given tender to some so and so company, if you have any doubt, you feel that some corruption, some by taking some bribe, some people might have given, if you feel like that, you can go, you can apply and get the information. How many of the people have applied for this tender contract, and what is the quote they have given, how much quotation they have given, everything will be given to us. Based on that, whether it is fair or unfair, you can make it out. Okay, and so also with the results, if you have any doubt regarding the result, UPSC result and all, for that also, if you want information, how many questions this person, so on and so person has given, how come he got the marks like this, if you want to, you can apply. You can go to the website of the UPSC and can apply for it. For that matter, any government office regarding any issue, to get the information, any citizen can apply in your own language. You can apply in English or in the local official languages. We can apply, and the information will be given to us if it is related to the life and death issues, or otherwise life and liberty issues. very much important. So and so person has been detained by the police. So you want to get the information. Based on that, you want to get bail to him and all means. For that cases also, you can take the information. And for such kind of things, you will get the information within 48 hours. Okay. Or general issues means within 30 days, they will give you. But whatever it is, even the 30 days issue also, maximum by 40 days, the department to whom you apply, they have to give the information. Okay. So this is one of the revolutionary act passed by our parliament. And today, every citizen is having a right to get the information from the government, what they are doing and how they were doing and all, you can get for your pursuit. Okay. So this is one of the things. With this, we have completed the 12th one. In that 12th, we are discussing about various mechanisms that are existing in order to prevent corruption and in order to promote transparency. In order to promote transparency in the administration. Transparency means it is like what we call it as a clarity. You will have a clear understanding without any confusion and all. Transparent, whether the transaction went on transparently or any malpractices have been taken place, to find out all these things like Lokayukta, Lokpal, CBI, CBC, okay, and citizen charters as well as Rti Act. These are all helpful for the Indian citizens to control the administration and their corrupt activities. Okay, I hope you all understood that. Now I'm going to teach you one more thing, that is about, just one second. This is the 12th one is Union-State Administrative Relations or Union-State Relationships. You can check in your book also, which has been provided by the university. There you can see it's in the 13th unit. It's the 13th unit. You can verify it. Yeah. So here we are going to see how in India, because we have federal form of government, democracy has two types of systems. One is federal government and other one is unitary government. Unitary government means in that particular country, there will be only one government, means central government. There won't be state governments. But another form is a federal form of government. In such kind of countries, simultaneously, two governments rules the people. Two governments performs administrative functions for the sake of the people. So, in that scenario, ours is a federal form of government. But one thing we have to remember, that is, ours is not pure federation. Ours is not a pure federation. Ours is a quasi-federal government. What do you mean by quasi-federal? Means normal times, according to our constitution makers, what they have done, if, for example, I will give you pure federation means USA, USSR. So today, Ukraine and Russia, we are talking about, no? Actually, USSR, there is one term, until 1991 for the Soviet Union of Russia. At the time, Ukraine, Tajikistan, they're all part of that nation. Later, they have been came out, separated. Okay. And today you know about America, USA, United States of America. There are 51 states, independent states combined together and living as one nation. Okay. So that is maybe because of their economic growth, maybe because of their military growth, federations can be formed. Okay. Whereas it comes to our country, it is not like that. from the beginning, our geographical conditions are like that. We are all same like a country, but divided into various states for our what I say that each state for our cultural background. Because in our country, all the people will not speak the same language. Okay, southern state, if you take today, we are in Hyderabad. So in South India, various Telangana, it's Telugu, Andhra Pradesh, Telugu, then Tamil Nadu, Telugu, Tamil. When you go to North, Hindi, Marathi, you know, these kind of various languages people are speaking. Our cultures are different. Because as per our culture to rule, we were divided into states. Otherwise, it's a one nation. That's why ours is a loose federation. It's not a strong federation. Ours is a loose federation. We call it as a quasi-federation. No, and even in this federal form of government, center has more powers in our country than the states. Center have only sovereignty power. States do not have sovereignty power. Sovereignty power means supreme authority. They can take any kind of decisions without consulting somebody. Such kind of power is known as sovereignty power. Okay, supreme authority. So, but states do not have supreme authority in our country. Whereas in USA, states have that power. Because theirs is a strong federation, ours is not a strong federation. And in our country, normal time, we follow federal form of government. But in the time of crisis, in the time of emergencies, our country will turn as a unitary state like Britain. Okay, so that's all different issues. But anyhow, just to give an introduction to this lesson, I have taken all those things. But anyhow, let me talk to you about our center-state relations in our country. Center, I have in our textbooks, it was given as union. Okay, union government is also known as central government. It's a similar word. Okay, state and central government, how they are functioning. So anything will be based upon the constitution. So in our constitution, part 11 and 12 speaks about our center-state relationships. That too in the articles 245 to 293. So article means, no, that is the rules, fundamental rules that will be followed by our country. Okay, so each rule speaks about one issue. Okay, so here our country administration, or what say the center state relations, say for example we are two partners working for one company, so we need to know where I have to work and where you have to work, and where we should not contradict one another. In order to take away the conflicts between two partners, there should be proper division of powers. Okay, like that, our constitution, what the constitution makers have divided the powers and functions of each government separately in this part, in this 11th and 12th part of our constitution. Okay, so let me talk to you those things. All the powers of our country given separately for center few and state few. So those things here I have given you. The powers of our country is divided into three lists. They divided into three areas. Okay, one list is given to center. We call it as a union list. When our constitution was created, union has 97 subjects. On 97 issues, union government has authority. Okay, and right now, union government in the union list, they have 100 subjects, means three subjects, three important issues were again given to it. Okay, then they're all national important issues. For example, defense, foreign affairs, banking, atomic energy, railways, postal. These are all run by the, look after by the state, central government. That's why they're all in the union list. Then we have state list. All the state governments in their own state, they can make laws and they will discharge their duties in 66 subjects. In the beginning, we have 66 subjects for the state governments. Okay. Now it has been reduced. It come to 61 only. Okay. So states has 61. What are they? For example, prisons. How prisons has to organized, and then public health, our health issues, production of manufacturing of production, manufacturing of liquor and all. Okay, sale of intoxicated liquors and all, and transportation, RTC and all are there. No, they all come, agriculture. They're all under the control of the let's say state government. And one more list is there. It is known as concurrent list. 3 lists total: union list, state list, and concurrent list. So in the beginning, for the concurrent list, there are 47 subjects. Right now it has 52 subjects. So you have to remember the present items only. So at present, center has power on 100 departments. Okay, 100 important issues. They can make laws, they will discharge their duties on them. Okay, whereas state has 61 subjects, 61 issues they will deal with. Whereas 52 issues, I said concurrent list. Who will take care of these 52 issues, such as like forests, animals, wildlife, trade unions, these kind of electricity, they're all comes under what we call it as a concurrent list. Concurrent list has power, both the governments, center as well as state governments have power to make laws and to take decisions upon these things. But when already center has taken one decision on one item, for example, on the wildlife, central government has taken one thing. So to contradict that, state should not take. Already means priority is given to the central government. Okay, so these are the things. And besides these 3, there is one more list that is known as residuary powers. So generally, these residuary powers are exercised by the President of India. Okay, President of India is nothing but the central government. So by this, what we understood is that central government has more powers than the states. There 100, then here 40, 52, and again even on the states also sometimes it will take. So center-state relations are like this. Now I just want to talk to you about administrative relations, because we being a public administration student, we have to know about what are the administrative relationships these governments are maintaining and all. Say, for example, distribution of executive powers. Regarding administrative relationships, Article 256 to 263 in Part 11 explained about the relationship between the center and the state government. So, distribution of executive powers. How many powers I need to have and how many powers the center need to have. Like that, the Constitution has divided. Okay. And another one is that center directions to the states. In the administrative relations, center has power to direct the administrators of the state government to do certain activities of theirs. For example, I'll tell you one small example. In our country, we have census. Once in 10 years, we take the census report. You know, what do you mean by census? Means taking the population count. We take the population count. That is the duty of the central government. Do you know one thing? But the central will make this duty by the states. It delegates its duties to state. And the state government, by appointing revenue department people, education department people like teachers and all, they send them to take the census. Whose work they are doing? They are doing the administrative work of the central government. And so also elections. Elections is the duty of the central government. To conduct, we have an election commission, we discussed, no? So election commission has to do that. But who is doing in the local level? It is the state government. Means some of the obligations, means the duties of center are performed by the states. That is one of the relationship between center and states. So just like a parent give some of his duties to his son or a daughter, you do my duty, like that they'll give, no? And with authority, I'll tell, okay, today I cannot do, you do for me, like that, like this. But in the constitution, it is given very clearly. That's why the central government using the forces of state government to perform their duties. Okay. And another thing also, because we are not discussing about the financial relations and all, only an administrative relations only. We have All India Civil Services. All India, by the All India civil servants, that IAS, IPS and IFS people, they are the employees of the central government. But how come they are in the states as a district collectors or various positions? They are police commissioners, directors and all, they are here, no? That is one way of center controlling the state administration. By appointing its own people in the states, it controls the administration. So also with the governors. Governors are appointed by the center, by the president in every state. And these people have to look after the administration of the states and give reports to the central government, how administration is going on and all. They will explain. Okay. And public service commissions we have in the state level. Telangana State Public Service Commissioner. Do you know who appoints the members of the Public State Commission? It is the president. It's the governor. The what do I say that the representative of the central government. Governor is nothing but the representative of the central government. He appoints them. And even one more important thing, how center controlling the state administration. But to tell that, we have integrated judicial system. In our country, we have only one judiciary, that is Supreme Court. To deal the say, justice issues and all, we have only one court, single judiciary system, integrated judiciary system. But what about these high courts and district courts and all? Means they are just the branches for the Supreme Court. It is at the top, apex court we call it as. It is at the top, and it has given some of its powers to these lower courts to deal with. In case we people are not happy with the lower court decisions and all, we go to Supreme Court, no? That is the ultimate court. So like that, at the center, even Supreme Court is there. It is controlling the judicial matters of the states. Okay. And interstate disputes. The central government has power to settle the interstate disputes. Recently, we had a meeting between Andhra Pradesh and Telangana regarding the interstate waters dispute. That is about Godavari waters and Krishna waters and all. There is some dispute going on. How many wagons of liter? I don't know in what way they call it as a huge water. So how many, how much we can use and how much they have to take. These things, there are disputes going on after the bifurcation. So for that also, who appoints? It's the central government only appoints. So it controls all the things of the states. Okay. These are the administrative relationship between center and the state government. But here I just want to talk to you at the end. That's about in the beginning years, states never open their mouth for the domination of centers in everything, in the administrative matters. But in 1980s, where the single party rule has been come down in our country, up to 1980s, both at the center and the state, only one party used to rule the nation, that is Congress Party. At the center, Congress Party only, even in the state level, Congress Party only used to rule. That's why they don't have any problem. But in the 80s, a number of opposition parties have come into, means local regional parties have come into existence, and regional parties started ruling. For example, in Andhra Pradesh, Telugu Desam Party has come, whereas in Tamil Nadu, ADMK party has come. Okay, what is in Punjab? Everywhere, various local parties, or what to say, local leaders have grew up, and regional parties have come. At that time, the party in the center, till in 80s also, Congress Party only used to rule the whole nation. There were no opposition, strong opposition at that time. But these leaders, the CMs of various opposition party states, they were very much, harassed. That's why all of them had a meeting in 1983, I believe. They had a meeting, and in that meeting, they decided, so central government keep on involving in our administrative affairs, and they are not releasing the funds, financial issues also, they are purposely holding on for our opposition party states. They are withholding the funds and all, grants and all. So we need to have something like that. They had a meeting, and they complained to the center. And the center government, in order to cool down these people, they appointed one committee. The committee name was Sarkaria Committee. Here I have put up Sarkaria Committee. He is the Chief Justice, retired Chief Justice of our country. Under his leadership, one committee was appointed to verify why the conflicts are arising between center and state government, especially in 1980s. So mainly why problems are arising, they found is appointment of governors. As I already told, the president appointing the governor in the states. Okay, so president means he is under the a state central government, partial person, but governor appointments and all will be taken care by the home department. So home department head will be the party. They will have their own party feelings and all. So purposely they are appointing a controversial person in the states in order to control them. And especially in the opposition party states, they are appointing. That's why the CMs of the, at that time, Karnataka, Ramakrishna Hegde, N.T. Ramarao of Andhra Pradesh, Karunanidhi of Tamil Nadu, and Biju Patnaik at Orissa, these people have assembled, and they criticize the role of governor, and they criticize money blocking by the center to the states. So therefore it was appointed, like Sarkaria Commission was appointed. And what Sarkaria Commission studied and gave a solution for the conflict, to remove the conflicts between center and state, was like this. I have given 3 points here. So number one is that creation of interstate councils. Creation of interstate means under the leadership of Prime Minister, all the CMs should have as a one body, they have to maintain, and now and then they have to meet together, and they have to discuss with the Prime Minister the problems they have with the neighboring states or with the central government. For that, creation of interstate councils have been started. That's why you might have seen, especially during the pandemic time, CM used to have a meeting with all the Prime Minister used to have a meeting with all the CMs. So that is related to this only. That is known as the inter-council. Interstate Council is a body of all the CMs and the Prime Minister, along with some of the union ministers. They will have a committee to discuss about various problems of the administration between each state. And the second one is that CM has to be consulted while appointing the governor. When the central government appointing a governor in so and so state, the CM has to inform. So on so and so date, we are changing the existing governor, and in his place or in her place, we are appointing a new person. Her name or his name is so and so, like that. They have to inform. Meanwhile, in the 80s, what happened? Without informing, they used to send, and the CMs are not happy with the governors. So here, rift, and because of that, some other problems also came. That is about presidential rule. The third one. So most of the governors used to write wrong information about the CM activities, or what say various constitutionally they are not working, like that. They used to write the report. That's why central government used to impose presidential rule. So when presidential rule is imposed, the state government will be dismissed. Means the CM and ministers will lose their power. Center will be ruling the state. Okay, that kind of things have been started in 1980s in order to control opposition parties. So that's why opposition parties raise their voice, and that's why even Sarkaria Commission has given this one. So center should not unnecessarily impose presidential rule. That should be the very last resort. Means you, first of all, you have to see whether the state government is working properly or not. Just not only the based on the report of the governor, you yourself also has to verify. Then only presidential rule has to be imposed, like that they said. So here, overall, what I want to tell you is Sarkaria Commission is the main savior to settle the disputes between center and the state government regarding administrative issues. Okay, so just because to control the states, center cannot rule simply cannot impose presidential rule and all. So because states also been elected, state governments are also being elected by their local people, by their province people. So in this way, this thing the policy, like what we call it as the rules have been made. Okay, so with this I have completed 12 and 13 unit, and tomorrow's class we are going to complete the syllabus that's about ethics in administration, as well as public sector companies, how they are working and all. We are going to listen. So for today, the class is over. If anybody has any doubts, you can write in the chat box. We will see in the next class. Okay. See you all. Thank you. Thank you. You can leave the class. It's 5 o'clock and the class also done.